Sovereign nations have borders, and most have a government which retains law and order. But the world is a large place with many isolated and remote areas that can sometimes be incredibly dangerous. Let's explore the physical and human geographical risk of these areas in the latest episode. The world is a beautiful place, but that beauty can bring dangers in certain places. From the volatile natural environments like scorching deserts and large mountain ranges, to regions plagued by social unrest, extreme poverty, or political instability, these dangerous places test the endurance of those who dare to venture there. In this week's episode, we're going to take a look at some of the most unstable areas on Earth, in terms of physical and human geographical limitations. Before we begin, if you enjoy geography, both physical and human geography, you love the content on this channel, so be sure to subscribe to my channel, Our World, Our Planet, Our Home, to view more videos. Let's get started. Some places on Earth aren't even actual nations. Western Sahara is one of those. Officially considered a disputed territory, it's claimed by both Morocco and the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, yet neither has full control. This lack of clear governance leaves vast areas in legal and administrative gray zones, where there's little law enforcement or oversight. The region's remote and sparsely populated areas have become transit points for illegal activities, including drug trafficking, arms smuggling, and even human trafficking, as the central authorities on either side struggle to enforce order. For locals, this means limited access to resources, economic stagnation, and vulnerability to exploitation. The territory's remote location and harsh desert environment only add to the sense of isolation and instability. In the Horn of Africa, Somalia is considered a sovereign nation, but the government is incredibly unstable. The absence of a strong central government since the early 1990s has led to widespread lawlessness and poor infrastructure, worsening poverty and insecurity. Among its most notorious issues is piracy, which peaked in the late 2000s. Somali pirates, often driven by economic desperation in the absence of viable livelihoods, targeted international shipping lanes along the Gulf of Aden and in the Indian Ocean, disrupting global trade. While international naval patrols and security measures have significantly reduced piracy in recent years, the underlying issues of poverty, unemployment, and weak governance persist. Additionally, Somalia grapples with ongoing armed conflicts, severe droughts, and humanitarian crises, leaving much of its population in dire need of aid and stability. Being large, Asia has some notable unstable areas. The Golden Triangle, where Thailand, Laos, and Myanmar converge, is one of the most notorious lawless regions in the world, driven by a dangerous combination of geography, politics, and crime. This area is infamous as a hub for production and trafficking of opium and heroin, a legacy that has evolved into a global trade of methamphetamines. The rugged remote terrain makes it incredibly difficult for authorities to enforce laws or maintain a strong presence. And this vacuum has been filled by powerful drug cartels, armed militias, and corrupt officials. What's striking is how this lawlessness has seeped into every level of life here. Locals caught in the middle, traffickers operating with immunity, and governments struggling to make even a dent in curtailing the illegal activities. Back to Africa, inland landlocked nations in the north-central region tend to have many internalized problems. The Sahel region, spanning countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, has lots of lawlessness and instability. This vast semi-arid stretch is plagued by weak governance, ethnic tensions, and a rampant surge of violence from Islamist extremist groups such as Al-Qaeda and ISIS affiliates. Local governments struggle to maintain control as vast portions of the region fall under sway of militants or criminal networks, turning rural areas into conflict zones. Cross-border attacks, mass displacement, and resource scarcity only make the crisis worse, making the Sahel a volatile and dangerous region where survival often hinges on fleeing rather than fighting. The lack of a unified response and deep-rooted poverty has left millions in jeopardy, creating a humanitarian crisis that resonates far beyond its borders. In tropical Central and South America, there are many areas of remoteness and seclusion. The Darien Gap, an isolated and unsafe stretch of land connecting Panama and Colombia, is a huge area of lawlessness and instability compounded by its harsh physical geography. This untamed region, dominated by dense rainforests, swamps, and rugged terrain, is devoid of roads and infrastructure, making it one of the most challenging places on Earth to traverse. Its inaccessibility has turned it into a haven for criminal networks, including drug cartels, human traffickers, and armed groups who exploit the absence of effective governance. Migrants attempting to cross the gap not only face these human dangers, but also the brutal environment, treacherous rivers, venomous wildlife, and suffocating humidity. The Darien Gap combination of natural hostility and lawlessness creates an unforgiving trek that few dare to enter and even fewer emerge from unscathed. The world's most lawless and unstable places remind us of the incredible challenges that arise when harsh physical environments intersect with weak governance and social unrest. From the remote deserts of the Sahel to the treacherous rainforest of the Darien Gap, these regions reveal the stark realities of survival, where order and stability are scarce. Yet, these areas also highlight the resilience of those who live there, navigating dangers that most of us can hardly imagine. Understanding these regions deepens our appreciation for the complexities of our planet and the delicate balance required to maintain peace and security in such diverse and challenging landscapes. That concludes this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you would like to leave your feedback, please do so in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoy geography, both human and physical geography, be sure to subscribe to my channel, Our World, Our Planet, Our Home. Until next time!